Here's my pick for Pokemon starters. Gen 10, 3 starters. This is my production. This is my prediction. This is my preference, right? Maybe it's not really a prediction. Fruit Bat, Grass starter. Grass starter is a Fruit Bat. And who knows? People like Noivern, people like Noivy. Maybe it's maybe it's another Wyvern, right? Who knows? I mean, a bat dragon's cool. And then Fire Snake. My thought process is you get a Fire Snake, right? But you make it evolve so it's a ghost type. I like the idea of its shedded skin, right, being the ghost element, right? As a snake sheds its skin, it's kind of like it's like a ghostly ectoplasm. And I think also what you can do, like what I didn't like about Snivy and Serperior is that it's a true snake, and I think a way to make, a snake be not be more humanistic, but maybe have more human elements that are a little bit friendlier or whatever, is to make that ectoplasmic ghost type aura or whatever. You can make that into any shape you want, right? You can make it into like Haunter hands, right? It can be adorable. It can be adorable Yamask, right? Like imagine if this was a snake and it's got these cute little arms. I don't know. I think that'd be so cute. Bogey White, what's up? How you doing? Thank you, Bogey White, for the well wishes about Hidden Power. I know. It's been a crazy year. But I think that'd be really cool. I think that'd be really cute, right? And then it's a snake like Snivy. Cuz Snivy's cute cuz it has hands, right? But imagine the little snake's just being a little snake. And then it's got these like ghostly arms. So it slithers around, but then I guess the main body would just be, honestly, the base form I guess would not be ghost types. The base form would just be just a little cute little snake. But then as it evolves, it gets those ethereal elements. I guess it's not Yamask that I'm thinking of. It's Cofagrigus? Yeah, it's Cofagrigus. Right? Okay, and this actually makes sense. If the final form of the Gen 10 Fire Starter Pokemon is, right, this is a tombstone, but what if this is a snake? And then you have these ectoplasmic arms that extend out of it, is so cool. And again, I want to reiterate, it's really like, and they could be physical, I guess, but it's the shedded skin, because that's what snakes do. I think that'd be so cool. And then the final one is a water cat. I think there's some comedy there, right? Cats don't like water, right? That's what they say. Cats don't like water. But I think there's also a lot of cats that live in water. That's not even true. There's bears. Bears enjoy the water. There's water bears. That's something completely different. But I like the idea of a Fisher cat. And these live in New England, Fisher cats. And they're like little honey badgers, right? Like these things are demons. These things are scary. It's called a Fisher cat. Guess what? Fisher cats, they fish, I assume. I actually don't know if they like hunt fish. I really don't know that. I actually don't even know why they're called a Fisher cat. Let's find out. Fisher cat, okay. The Fisher, Pecania pennante, is a carnivorous mammal native to North America, a forest-dwelling creature whose range covers much of the boreal forest in Canada to the northern United States. It is a member of the something family and is in the monospecific genus. Okay, it is sometimes referred to a Fisher cat, although it is not a cat. Here we go. Okay, so it's like a look-alike, right? The Fisher is closely related to, but larger than, the American marten. Pacific marten. Okay, come on. Fisher, why is it called Fisher? Males and females Fisher cats look, but it can be sometimes the male and females can be differentiated by size. All right, that's not really that interesting. Okay, despite the name Fisher, the animal is not known to eat fish. Great, awesome. Thank you, Wikipedia. But I think it's cool, right? If it's water type, here we go. If it lives up in the north, it really could be ice type. That'd be kind of fun. I think water fighting would be cool. Look at they climb trees, right? Water fighting would be cool. Water dark type would be cool. These things, so we hear them all the time where I'm at, and they sound like screaming. I think screaming children is screaming babies is what they sound like, right? That's what these fishers look like, sound like. They sound like screaming babies. But I think that'd be fun, right? If we get so this is the trio is a fruit bat. You have your flyer, you have your feline. That's cute. Water, fisher cat. And maybe it doesn't even need to be a cat. Maybe it's more of like a bear, right, or whatever. So that's kind of cool. That could evolve into a lot of really cool things. And then your fire snake. That's my pick. I think this is a really dynamic group, right? You've got two mammals, but the mammal is flight, and then the reptile is very reptile because it's a snake. So you have a really diverse group here. Honestly, this actually lines up pretty closely to. Does this line up to? This lines up to Paldea, right? This does line up to Paldea. This lines up. We have a flyer, we have a reptile, and we have. I guess Quack Koval does not fly, but it is a bird. And then you have the feline. But what do you guys think about this? You guys like that? Obviously, yeah. So I think that's really cool. I think that would be. Let's see what you guys think. A grass bat would be very cool and interesting, especially when you consider for its final form like a vampire bat, but its signature move could be like Giga Drain, but it drinks the blood of the opposing Pokemon. That's true. It definitely would have all of those like Giga moves. I'll be honest, a lot of the bat Pokemon that exist, I don't really care for too much. Like, let's see, bat Pokemon. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't like dislike them. Like Noivern, honestly, Noivern is sick. I think I was in a bad mood when we did our Gen 6 tier list, which you'll hear on Thursday, on Hidden Power. But I did not really like that. I guess I feel like I gave it a poor shake of it. I think Zubat, Woobat do not need to exist, and I think Zubat's kind of iconic, and I use Crobat a lot in those earlier games. Oh, here we go. Gliscor does count. Gliscor and Gligar do count if they're bats. If they count, I do like them. They're very good. I like them. Lunala counts, I guess, but it's a legendary. It's not really the same thing, right? It's not like you're not gonna see a flock of those in a cave. Dude, it's freezing down here in this basement. Let's see. Yeah, so I think this would be really cool. If you look at a bat's wings, right, it's got these veiny. I don't really know if there's bones. There must be bones in their. There must be bones in its wings, but whatever they are, the veins, the lines in their wings, I think just fit perfectly with the veins of a leaf. So true, like it would be a little leaf bat, and it would be adorable. I feel like that'd be so cute. And obviously, it'd be based on a fruit bat. That's kind of the thought process. I didn't really depict the fruit here, but this is a fruit bat. It's a fruit bat baby, and maybe it's not a baby, but it's a fruit bat. It looks like a baby, and then its leaves, its wings would be made of leaves. So I'm into that quite a bit. The new battle mechanic. Kells is asking about the new battle mechanic for Gen 10. I guess I don't really have any predictions, but I think what I would like is, I think armor is really cool. I think armor is an interesting concept. Excuse me, and you would want to make it like, I think you would want to make it some sort, like almost like an artificial. Obviously armor is artificial, but I feel like you'd almost want to make it biological in some sense. That's not true. Actually, no, the way they do it here, this is how you do it. An armor evolution, and you have stones like mega stones or like the Z crystals, right? Those are like hold items that you equip to a Pokemon, and that functions as their equip item, right? But what you have is, I guess you would have 6. Yeah, you have 6 armors. You'd have 6 items. 1 item for each stat. So you have a helmet You have an iron helmet or something, right? Or maybe you have iron, iron fists, right? Maybe you have iron boots. The boots are for the speed. Fists are for the, or gauntlets, right? Gloves for physical attack. Then you'd have to have another one for special attack. Maybe that's like a brace. So it's not like a helmet, but it's like a neck brace, or I don't know, like exoskeleton or something. Then you'd have two, iron shield, maybe iron something. And I imagine it's armor. They're not weapons. It's not a shield and a sword. It's it's literally armor. I think that'd be really cool. And then, and I don't know if Pokemon would actually do this, but they gotta, right? I feel like what they should do is have some Pokemon almost like fuse or have a special form with, I guess what they would have is, so any Pokemon could access those, and when you equip them, maybe you see some sort of like armor change. And then, because the thing that's tripping me up is like how that would actually be depicted in the game, right? How would it be visually communicated in battle, right? And then I guess, but I like that. I like the focus being on speed, or the focus being on the stat control, because I don't think we really have that. I know Dynamax increased HP, which was cool. Obviously, terrestrialization affects the type. Z moves affects obviously the move, and Mega did everything. Mega was a true evolution, so you get a boost. You get a new Pokemon form, right? You get the Mega form, then you get the stat boost, then you get the type swap, then you get the ability swap. You get everything. But I feel like a new type or a new battle gimmick that focused on the Pokemon stats, I think, is what we're missing, and I think would just inherently be a really cool and dynamic battle gimmick, because it's basically what that would allow is any Pokemon to be really good in one stat, which changes the metagame completely. All of a sudden, you can have the slowest Pokemon. Let's think of Torkoal. You can have Torkoal be wicked fast, and it still has its drought ability. It still has, it's still plain fire, right? I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example of, I know a lot of ice Pokemon are slow, or a lot of rock Pokemon are slow, right? If you have, Rhyperior, right? Huge amount of attack, physical attack and physical defense, but it's slow and has got a lot of weaknesses. Well, what happens if it's super fast? Now it wrecks, it destroys, right? That's honestly I think that would be a really cool way to go about making a new gimmick, a new battle gimmick. That's definitely what I would do. Yeah, Octokraken. There is a Hidden Power Discord, but it's private. So, and you can get in by becoming a channel member. Let's see. Yeah, so I think the Fruit Bat would be really cool. And this is Dark Domain, Dark and Windy commented. He was like, I literally made these Pokemon. And then my heart sunk, because I said, did I secretly internalize these designs without even thinking of it? Because he literally has made a grass bat starter, a fire snake starter, and a water cat starter. And I asked him about it, and he was like, no, these are all separate starters from separate regions that he's made. And then I found out he's made 20 Pokemon regions, which is insane. So yeah, that was definitely not me. That was just him. But I think these starters are really cool. Here's some more images of the Fisher Cat. I could see this thing being kind of cute and then evolving to be almost like Typhlosion, right? That's what I would think. Yeah. Let's read some comments. Knowing Game Freak, they will have the snake stand on two leaves, or two and make it look like it can be a fighting type. That's kind of funny. Yeah, they might do that. I don't think so though. I think we already kind of got that. If we got another snake, I think my description's my description's pretty obvious. Oh, here's some names: Frubat, like fruit bat, Basilisk, and Blaze, and then Ben Guadic. I don't really know what that Ben Guadic. Where's the Ben from? Oh, this person hit me with my own medicine. Here we go. Grass pig, fire, oxen, and water octopus. That's cool. Grass pig. It looks for mushrooms and is in the process. Oh my god, this is perfect. So the grass pig looks for mushrooms and in the process fertilizes other plants. That is hilarious because pigs poop. I guess I don't really know if pig poop is used as fertilizer. I don't know if pigs specifically. I know cows and other animals, chickens, their poop, their waste is used as fertilizer. But that's so funny. I love that a lot because it eats everything and then it fertilizes everything and it looks for mushrooms because that's what pigs do. That's honestly such a good idea. Fire bull based on the brazen bull. It has a furnace in its stomach used by blacksmiths. That's cool. I also like the idea of because we eat meat. So I'm imagining it. I don't know. That just makes sense. I like that a lot. I guess we already have a fire oxen, right? We do already have that. That's a Tauros. That's the Paldean Tauros. And then they go water squid. I like squids. Yeah, that'd be cool. That would be really cute to see. The thing is, I'm pretty sure every water type starter has been a Pokemon, based on an animal that is both aquatic and a land dweller. Yeah. So, when I think of a squid, I mean, truthfully, I guess they could really do anything. I just saw something recently, and I don't have it up right here, but I just saw something recently that said the founders or the creators of Pokemon right now they want Pokemon to last the next 100 years or something, which I've always said, yeah, of course they have a game plan, but 100 years, that's kind of crazy. I guess you need to have a 100-year plan, right? And then operate in and then readjust every year and readjust every 5 years maybe.